Years ago, some poor fellow just like me must have found himself stranded on that island.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the one with the girlfriend and you're still stranded on third base.
I've been stranded here for 6 months with no hairdresser, no manicures, no masseuse.
Welcome to TalkWord. You know that feeling when you memorize a word's definition, but you still have no idea how to actually use it? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, today, we're going to show you a much better way to learn by connecting words to unforgettable real-world stories. So the word we're tackling today is stranded. It's a word that just drips with a sense of panic, right? Of being totally helpless. And believe me, we have a story that shows just how dramatic and dangerous being stranded can really be. Okay, let's start with the basics. The dictionary tells us that stranded means you're left somewhere with no way to get out. You know, like being stuck on a deserted island. But it can happen in some much more unexpected places. Right, so that definition is a good starting point, but it doesn't really capture the feeling of the word, does it? To truly get it, we need a real-life example. So let's dive into our story. Our story kicks off with something we all see every day, an Amazon delivery van. But this particular van ends up somewhere you would never, ever expect. And it becomes the absolute perfect example of what it means to be stranded. So picture this. It's February 15th over in England. An Amazon driver is just doing their job, trying to get a package to a customer in a pretty remote spot. Everything seems totally normal so far. But here is where things get weird. The driver's just doing what we all do, right? Following the GPS. And it guides them onto this path with a really old-sounding name, the Broomway. And we're not talking about some new side road here. The Broomway is an ancient path. It's thought to be around 600 years old. 600! Definitely not your standard delivery route. And here is the tiny little detail that the GPS completely missed. The Broomway isn't a road for cars. It's a 6-mile walking path that literally disappears under the sea when the tide comes in. You can probably see where this is going. And just like that, the absolute worst-case scenario happens. The tide starts creeping in, the van's wheels just sink into that soft, wet mud, and the vehicle can't move at all. It's completely stuck. And this right here, this is the very definition of being stranded. The driver was trapped in their van, surrounded by rising water, with absolutely no way to get out. I mean, this was a really serious situation. The Coast Guard had to be called in, and as they put it, their #1 job was making sure the driver was safe and that the van wasn't about to leak fuel or anything into the water. Luckily, the driver did get out safely. A local farmer even had to bring in a tractor to pull the van out of the water. And you can bet Amazon is looking into how its navigation system could have made such a pretty dangerous mistake. But this story could have ended so much worse, because that 600-year-old path, the Broomway, it has a nickname, a truly terrifying nickname. It's known as the deadliest footpath in Britain. And there is a very grim reason for that name. Over the centuries, around 100 people have actually drowned on this very path, caught by those fast-moving tides. So this driver wasn't just stranded. They were incredibly, incredibly lucky to be alive. Wow, after a story like that, it's pretty unlikely you'll ever forget what stranded means. And that's really the power of this whole method of learning. So let's talk about how you can use the same technique for any word you want to master. You can do exactly what we just did here using our companion app, TalkWord. It's super simple. So ready to give it a try? Find the TalkWord app and start building your very own library of unforgettable words. Thanks for joining me.
We're stranded. I hope I didn't get you stranded or anything.